India, a land of ancient civilizations, diverse cultures, and boundless spirit. 4 centuries, its people lived through the tides of history. Dynasties rose and fell, leaving their indelible marks on this sacred land. But in the 17th century, a foreign power cast its shadow over this vast expanse. The East India Company arrived under the guise of traders, seeking spices, textiles, and riches. Yet, behind their ledgers and ships lay an agenda of dominance. By 1858, the British Crown had tightened its grip, reshaping the destiny of millions. Colonial policies drained India of its wealth, leaving its people impoverished. The intricate weaves of its famed textiles were replaced by British imports, and its farmers were burdened by crippling taxes. Poverty spread like a plague, but the spark of resistance ignited among its people. In 1885, the Indian National Congress was born, giving voice to the aspirations of a colonized nation. Their early petitions were polite, but as oppression grew, so did their demands. The partition of Bengal in 1905 and the massacre at Jallianwala Bagh in 1919 shook the nation's soul. Resistance turned into a tidal wave. Leaders emerged to guide this tidal wave. Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolence united millions. Nehru envisioned a modern, progressive India. Subhas Chandra Bose called for an armed struggle to end colonial tyranny. From boycotts to marches, from prisons to battlefields, the fight for freedom engulfed every corner of India. But unity was fragile. The All India Muslim League, led by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, raised concerns about Muslim representation in a future independent India. In 1940, Jinnah made a historic demand: a separate homeland for Muslims. Communal tensions simmered, their flames fanned by British divide-and-rule policies. By 1947, the British Empire, weakened by war and mounting resistance, decided to leave. But their departure came with a price. The subcontinent was divided into 2 nations, India and Pakistan. The boundaries were drawn hastily, and the seeds of chaos were sown. The partition unleashed unimaginable suffering. 15 million people were uprooted from their homes. Hindus and Sikhs fled to India, while Muslims migrated to Pakistan. Trains carried the living, the dead, and the dying. Villages burned as neighbors turned against each other. The cost? Over 1 million lives lost. Countless women violated. Families torn asunder. The human cost of partition was unfathomable. For those who survived, the pain was eternal. The loss of loved ones, the uprooting of life, these wounds would take generations to heal, if ever. And yet, from the ashes of despair, 2 nations were born. India embraced secularism and democracy, striving to unite its diversity. Pakistan found its identity as a homeland for Muslims. The partition was not just a division of land, but of dreams and destinies. Today, the scars of partition remain visible, yet so do the shared threads of heritage and history. Across borders, there exists a connection, a reminder of a time when these nations were one. The story of India's partition is a tale of triumph and tragedy, of resilience and rebirth. It is a lesson for the ages, that division comes at a cost, but hope and humanity endure. If you found this story of India's partition insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to World Media.